It's okay, Stranger, just take your time. And that's not the game. I regret to inform you that's not the right game. That's the right game. There we go. Now everything is fully operational. Hi gang, welcome back. Time for more of this funny little silly little game that we call Girls Frontline 2 Exilium. First things first, let's get all the stuff out of the way. Dear Commander, server maintenance is complete. Thank you for your support and understanding. Yummy. 100. My funds grow slowly but surely. What else? Parabellum. During the event, sign in for cumulative 7 days to ooh, me. That, yeah, sure. And some Parabellum stuff. That. Ah! 7 whole days. Who's today? That's... That's... Oh... You guys, all right, you guys can't see it because it's blocked by Luke. 1 second. It's... One second. Yeah, it's... You, I think they should, maybe condense this a little so it doesn't, like, get cropped this horribly. Good job, Mika team. Good job. Oh, welcome back, Luca. Standardizing sync. With those. Yummy! Hilarious. I already completed 5, so I just gotta wait for the others. This is kind of a nice outfit, though, to be honest. Maybe. I'll think about it. I'll get it, though. But it's at a discount. Oh. Area, dispatch room. This hasn't gone up, so we don't have to change with that. What else is there? Oh, right, the dispatch shop. Okay, let's clean. Oh, let's clean this out. And got some of these. That. This. This. That. Finally, this. They gotta add more stuff to the dispatch shop, I think, because we're gonna have way too much stuff to, you know, have. So, I'll write that. Wrong thing. Let's, need more combat manuals. Or did I leave? Rogue. Froggy. Another one of these. Awesome. Cool. And shop. I can buy the rest of these. Yay. Ooh. Oh, version however. Yeah. Grab that. Yeah. Woo. So can we run it out? Oh, 10. Yay! What else? What's commissions? Dormitory. I'm just gonna know this all the way so then we can focus on, you know, the story when I have to get to it, which is like after basically dailies. Yes, give her everything. Go, yum. Zoom. Make my barracks slightly stronger because you like the commander more. Yes, exactly. Damn it. Oh well. No? Oh, damn. Not enough. Supply mission. More of this, so grab this. Search. The more the merrier, as they say. Voila! Dailies. Makes Sabrina's shotgun stronger. Why not? Alright. Almost done. Just maybe one boss fight. Sure, we can do that. I love getting sidetracked. No, we'll put Kukai, Eritia. Yeah. Counter. Yeah, that should go fine. Surely, because I think they switched the phases, so now Klukai needs to be the one to go clean house. Alright, Blue I go. And just go. Go. Yeah, you will go here. Yeah, sure. Grenade. Ouch. Ow, that's not cool. Don't do that. It's rude. And do this because we can. Ouch. Oh, don't hit both, man. It's not cool. I need to get Bertia away from that evil ass standard armor. Her. Ouch. Oh, come on. Okay, go again. I need to escort Kolfne to here. This. Hey. Bomb. Ouch. Hit dinner gate. And just so Klukai can get out of there faster. Come on, I just kill it. Yay! We did it. Yay! Thanks, Factor. Alright, and we just don't have any protection. You're awesome. Cool. That's all the way the better, I think. Why did they have to take away the terrain here? This is stupid. Yeah. Actually, yeah, this is it. This is for, and then we just kill you with this. Anywhere can even go? Let's do this, I guess. Yeah, let's just do this instead. God forbid I... Who the hell thought this was a good idea? Ooh. Be hesitant to pull all the stops and let him have it. Brother, how am I supposed to let him have it? They're all fucking assholes. Yes. Sure. Am I supposed to escort everyone over here or something? I don't know what the game plan is for this. Ouch. Oh, that hurt. And everyone dies. Because... Right. Right. Okay, sure, man. Whatever, if you say so. I don't get this, boss. I don't get the second phase. I really don't. Those. And when these come back, I'll have another thing for Sabrina. What is she at now? Let's double check before I start off. Location she's at V3. And what target is hit? Restores 6 points of stability index. Ooh, that's kind of good. That might be kind of good. So long way from V5 though. That's ugh. So long. So long, so long. Alright, time to really quickly do this. That's done. Shop. Okay, let's start clearing this out. Really don't want to get attachments, so I'll just start buying the other stuff. Yay! Yahoo! We're on to 1-6. Sands of Memory. There are memories to hold on to tightly. No. Blah, 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 blah. I can word. I promise I can word. Blah. There are memories to hold on tightly to, but they pass through one's hands without even realizing it. That's deep. A lot of deep analyses going on. Go, go, go! The disease has been inflicted. Mekti takes in the defeated enemies all around her and expresses her heartfelt admiration. Some have fallen headfirst into the pit, while others are hanging on the guardrails. Ah, such ruthless firepower, such agility, the ferocity of a $1 army. Have I pulled an SP version of some SSR unit? You flatter me. I'm simply performing my duty. She's even as gentle as Andorus. Isn't she too Isn't she too perfect? Not that there's anything wrong with the actual Andorus. Just leave the combat to me. Wow. I've been waiting for so long, and someone finally says this to me. This is indeed the dependable junior that I've long dreamed of. Not that I'm complaining about the actual Belka and Andorus. Vector looks at Mekti, who is hanging onto G36K KSKs like a rucksack, with a hint of helplessness. Are you planning to make her carry you the whole way? What's the problem? It's not like walking is part of the training. I really think chewing. I really think a chewing out by Klukai is inevitable at this point, but if she sees you like this through the surveillance recording, it's just a matter of a 500 shot drill turning into 800 shot. Quantitative change often leads to a qualitative change. She might start tormenting you by targeting your precious collection instead. Suddenly remembering her large collection of special edition manga and merch, Mekti lets go of G36K demurely. Klukai is away, but she still stalks me like my own shadow. Alright, let's go and retrieve our loot. Mekti and Vector walks towards the two beams of light not far away. The loot enters their respective inventories in a burst of light. Noticing the problem, the two dolls look at each other almost at the same time. I think you were right about the deducted loot. We're only getting back less than half of XP and supplies. Harpsy, have you figured out what's wrong? The camera hovers smoothly next to him. It makes no response. Harpsy? What's going on? We're not in the middle of a cutscene right now, so why are the comms being jammed? Vector, this Harpsy or whatever you keep talking about, who is it? It's... The Vector suddenly realizes that something is terribly wrong. It's Harpsy, imprint model TMP. She repeats the familiar name slowly, but Mekti just stares at her even more blankly. Harpsy? No. Is that a new friend of yours or something? You don't really seem like the type to go making friends with strangers, you know. She doesn't seem to be joking. Making jokes takes too much effort for Mekti. So it's not my imagination. Huh? I'm not imagining this feeling that something is missing. You've been saying some really strange stuff since a while ago. Mekti? Vector interrupts her. Try to disconnect from level 2. Now. Huh? But we're not done yet. Do as I say. Try to disconnect. Alright. After trying multiple times, Mekti looks at Vector in confusion. I can't. What's going on? Either something happened out there, or something is wrong in here. Mekti, remember when I said I had a feeling that something important was missing? I don't think I was imagining it. What did we lose, though? I don't know what I lost, but you definitely lost something. Vector tells Mekti about Harpsy. But I don't know. I still can't really recall her, though. The data is lost, so that's not surprising. What matters is how to prevent further data loss. Do you think this has anything to do with the deducted loot? Like, every time we die, we can collect fewer and fewer things, and as a result, our own neural data or something like that. There's no evidence that the two phenomena are related, but it is very likely. Jeez. What kind of a horrific bug is this? I don't know. But from now on, we can't treat this like a game where we have infinite lives. The more we die, the more we lose. What? Then maybe we should just stay where we are and wait for the rescue? That does make sense. It will certainly reduce our chances of getting hurt, but then we'll also be putting the pressure on we'll be all but then we'll also be putting all the pressure on the Harpsy and the others to solve the problem. It can't be helped. Our comms are jammed and we don't even know what's going on out there. Are we really just gonna sit here and wait for our doom? Then what ideas do you've got? Turning into Superman? Vector lapses into deep thought. After a while, she tears her eyes away from the weeds growing out of the cracks in the concrete on the roadside. I'm thinking to end a game other than breaking the connection by force from the outside. Maybe beating the game here is also a solution? But wouldn't that get increasingly risky under these circumstances? I think it's better to find somewhere safe and hunker down. We have G36K with us. If this were still your regular training, I'd have a problem with her presence as she is basically helping you cheat. However, though, she can relieve some of the combat pressure for us in these desperate times. Vector glances at G36K, who is standing behind Mekti. Perhaps because she is standing with the back towards the light, her face is obscured in shadow. Her smile is barely visible. Like a dutiful NPC, she has remained silent throughout the two dolls' conversation. Besides, we still can't even be certain if the data loss is caused by dying or something else. The sooner we can exit level 2, the better. There are things you and you don't want to forget, right? Mekti purses her lips and tears at her hair in frustration, then lets out a sigh. Alright. I meant to complete the training anyway. Ugh. Having you talk to me so earnestly instead of just yelling. Feels pretty unsettling. You prefer Klukai's method? Huh? No way! Why would you have such a dangerous thought? Are you sure you don't? Of course not. You couldn't be more wrong. Beat the game, yeah? Let's go then. It'd suck if Klukai deletes all the anime I've saved at the outpost. Oh dear. So it seems they've begun to forget things. That's no bueno. That's no bueno at all. I didn't check before we started. How many more left? 1, 2, 3. Oh, we're almost done. Yay! Finish this up quickly. We can do some of the challenges. Ooh. The satellite city streets in their memory were at least somewhat orderly, but here, large chunks of broken crystal pipes are scattered everywhere. Uprooted sidewalk slabs reveal barren yellow sand beneath. And as they walk along, the view looks no different from the yellow zones. We'll reach the Research Institute once we cross this district. Wow, it looks as if... Beep! It's some monster had a brawl here. We're quite close to ground zero of the arterial crystal pipe explosion, and the high concentration of collapse radiation attracted many invaders and elids, so this place practically got razed to the ground. In other words, there could be a lot of enemies lurking around. We can't afford to be careless. That's true. We can deal with anything unexpected better if we proceed in an inverted triangle formation. I can take the rear. No. You lead the way in front. Macdi and I will cover the rear and flanks. Understood. G36K nods demurely and walks ahead with her weapon at hand, weapon held at the ready. You seem wary of her. An NPC that can accurately analyze the current situation, choose between remaining silent and talking freely with the players, and can also make tactical suggestions. She's basically a fully sentient doll. Are you... Are the support characters in the games you play so advanced? Huh? I mean, they could be. I don't really remember. You mustn't let your guard down around her just because of her strong resemblance to Andorus. Besides, she's completely different from Andorus. Oh, tell me about it. Not like Andorus, she's insanely strong in combat, though. It would be so much easier to tell her apart if her personality is significantly different from the real deal. To her, just like Roche in that number 90. I've been meaning to ask. This Urshery you sometimes mention, is she my teammate? Mekti's eyes, which she can barely keep open most of the time, widen in shock. Roche, you don't remember? Not only is she your teammate, but she's like your best friend. My best friend. Corkscrew Twin Tails always twittering by your side. What else? I don't really know the story between you two. Vector wrecks her neurocloud, but she can't find any trace of the name. In her incomplete neurologs, someone runs over with a recruitment brief full of red crosses. The same person calls out to her through thick glasses while she's soaked in corrosive liquid. But the person's face is utterly blank. Vector freezes in bewilderment. I only found some broken memory fragments, but... Macti glances uneasily at the camera that has been following them in silence, then awkwardly tries to comfort Vector. It's gonna be fine. Once we get out of here, we can reload our neural backups. Boom. Boom! A building ahead of them collapses all of a sudden, emitting a deafening noise. A long-haired girl emerges from the swirling dust. She stumbles in this direction, followed by invaders that are chasing her relentlessly. Help! Multiple enemy targets spotted ahead at 1 o'clock. Exact number unknown. They're moving toward us at a high speed. Engaged in 8 seconds. Hold on, that's... Worry about that later. Prepare for battle. A familiar face for that might be seen. Go, my Inklings, go! Imada! Go, inflict disease, Klukai. Inflict the disease! It's alright now. There are no more invaders. G36K gives the cowering girl a gentle squeeze on the shoulder. The girl, obviously very shaken, is still trembling all over. Above her head is the name tag that reads 416. Vector, I'm not reading this wrong, am I? Her name is indeed 416. You're dreaming or you've gone blind, right? No, you're reading that right. I don't know if I can do the voice I did for her, but in like a crying tone. I can try. 416 cranes her neck and starts bawling. Fat tears roll down from her eyes. Her usually cold and haughty face now looks almost pitiful. I know this is not the real deal, but it sure is impactful. I didn't expect we'd run into another new NPC so close to the research institute. The two dolls walk up to 416, who suddenly jumps to her feet and grabs Mekti. What? I almost forgot. My sister, my sister. Please, save my sister. I beg of you. Huh? What sister? Ow, ow, ow. Stop. My arm is gonna fall off. Over here. Follow me. 416 lets go of Mekti and runs back in the direction she has come from. Sheesh. Her personality is different, alright, but she's got the same monstrous strength. Hurry. We've got to go after her. It's surprising that there's still such well-kept and well-preserved houses in this city. There's even a sofa. Mekti, immediately drawn to the sofa near the entrance like a nail to a magnet, collapses onto it. G36K follows them into the house and stands quietly in the corner. So soft, so comfy. It doesn't quite compare to my own beanbag sofa, but it gives the couch in the lounge a run for its money. Vector, come on. Savor this hard-earned moment of tender coziness. No thanks. Get up. You still have some stuff to do, you know. Maybe if you mean the cutscene, you can handle it. She can even go to sleep in level 2. Vector shakes her head in mild disbelief and walks up to 416, who's now by a bed in the dorm. She has to admit that the calm, quiet atmosphere here is relaxing, so she decides not to bother waking Mekti. Big sis! Big sis, are you okay? Don't scare me! As Vector approaches the bed, 416 unfreezes and starts crying piteously while holding onto the hand of the person lying in bed. Happens to it's gonna be Belko. I fucking knew it. Belka. The one lying on the bed with her eyes closed and her face pale is none other than Belka, but the name tag above her reads G28. Hearing 416's voice, she musters her strength and opens her eyes just a crack. Big sis, you're badly injured. I tried to find you some medicine in the research institute, but I ran into invaders. These people saved me. You... Don't talk. Don't talk, please. Excuse me. Do you happen to have any medicine on you? The watery green eyes turn to Vector, and she suddenly understands how Mekti feels. Impactful, indeed. Under 416's imploring gaze, Vector taps her watch and gives her a healing potion. My goodness. Big sis, they have medicine. I'll give you some right away. She tries to prop G28 up from the bed, but she may have aggravated her wounds as GRD28 starts coughing violently. Big sis, are you alright? Maxie sits up on the sofa and rubs her eyes and looks over at the bed. Uh, that's Belka? She rubs her eyes again. Klukai is holding Belka in her arms. They are both NPCs. I know, but Klukai is bawling while clinging to Belka? No way. I don't care if it's surreal or not. I gotta capture this absolute. Where's my terminal? Mekti pats herself down frantically, but then she remembers that she's on level 2. So she taps her watch. Oh, there's even a screen cap and recording feature. 416 dresses GRG28 wounds lightly. G28 finally directs her attention to Vector. You have my gratitude. May I know who you are? Option A. We are Guardians. Vector reads out the only option she's given. We are Guardians. Guardians, you say? Big sis, don't get so worked up. I'm fine. I'm okay. Allow me to introduce myself. R16 and I are both researchers at the National Research Institute Institute's number 3 laboratory. I was in charge of the project to convert collapsed crystals into crystal energy. You could say we're the ones responsible for the crystal pipe explosion. G28. I've always known that crystal energy is not completely clean. Moreover, the safety of the crystal pipes is also very unstable. But we yielded to the authorities. Not only did we not put a stop to the experiment on crystal energy, we even pushed it, little by little, to the point of no return. Vector recalls TMP, who they have met earlier, and draws the mental connection. Fortunately, we have a remedy. 416 uses their own funds to develop a substance that can completely purify collapsed particles. The purification solution. Purification solution. That must be the secret weapon that number 90 talked about. Alright, that makes sense. Yeah. You've stockpiled a certain amount of purification solution in the Institute's laboratory. We just need to put the solution in the diffuser in the Institute's launch center, and then we can purify the city. The problem is, the launch center was destroyed and the automatic security system within the Institute was activated, so we can't really get through. However, the Ruina Crystallis airbase is in the northeastern corner of the city. There's a helicopter there with a diffusion device installed in its tail. If you load it with the solution and fly around the city, you can also complete the purification. Zone map. Ruina Crystallis airbase obtained. This is it. Mekti, this is how we clear the game. Bang! A gunshot erupts from behind. Like a slow-motion scene in a movie, Vector watches as a bullet burrows out of her chest, passes through GRG28's forehead, and leaves a black crater on the wall. The shot NPC seems utterly unfazed. She continues to rattle off the pre-written script with great emotion despite the bullet hole on her head and the continued gunfire. But Vector can no longer hear what she's saying. She turns around with great difficulty, only to see a smiling G36K with her gun raised, and Mekti, who has flattened herself on the sofa in terror. Mekti, run! Vector. Orbs of faint light appear where Vector has fallen. Mekti knows that these are Vector's dropped items. What is the outside world like? Show me more. G36K stretches out her hand, and then the lights fly into her palm like birds returning to their nest. The figure, immersed in light, begins to transform little by little. Andrus's illuminated face is as calm as serene as ever, but the color of her, but the color of, blah, 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 but the color of the hair by her ears starts fading. Her body also droops like melted wax, and then it looks almost like as if a pair of invisible hands are gently lifting her up and re-sculpting her. Oh dear. After the light has faded, she appears before Mekti like a patchwork portrait, with all the colors and characteristics of different 404 members. Not enough. Not enough at all. G36K. No. Who are you, exactly? I don't like this name. It sounds like a tool. I want my own name. A new name to mark a new life. Isn't that right? Who the hell are you? That's right. Your name. It's Mekti. Mekti. It means dream. An eerie smile creeps across that uncanny patchwork's face. I was born out of your memories. Your dreams. You. You can call me Koshmar. Oh, great heavens. Miss Goopy Substance has a name now, even though this is our first meeting of Miss Goopy Substance. Look at that. Data node? Oh, what did I do? Wrong thing. Cyborg shop. Yeah! VS1-2. Dream Escape Squad. Throw off the dream and take back reality. Remotely controlling the terminal in the training room, Dyer checks the code of the module and plug in row by row. Harpsy also nervously keeps her eyes glued to the terminal screen, not daring to relax at all. Meanwhile, Rushay and Wellrod are keeping a close eye on the situation on level 2 at the surveillance monitor. What should we do? Vivi doesn't remember me anymore. The data loss is only temporary. Once she's out there and re-downloads her neural backup, she will be the same old Vector. I know, but it still hurts that Vivi is treating me like a total stranger. Tears are a sign of your incompetence. If you keep crying, you'll only put more pressure on Harpsy and Dyer. I'm sorry. At last, movement can be heard from the terminal nearby. There's no virus at all. How can that be? The problem is the highly intelligent creative AI that you implemented. Its deep learning ability allows it to continually read Doll's neurocloud data and continuously improve its own framework autonomously. It has now concluded its first cycle of self-completion. Compare its current base code with what was originally written? Isn't that much more complex? It does seem to be the case. That's why you couldn't find this so-called virus. Fucking hell. The creative AI is artificial intelligence. Dolls are also artificial intelligence. You put two AIs into a single vessel. Are you trying to teach them what survival of the fittest means? It didn't occur to me. Never mind. According to my speculation, the goal of this AI is probably to seize their neuroclouds and take control of the frames. If this continues, then I'm afraid it will backhack into the main control system sooner than later. When that happens, not only will their data be at risk, but so will yours. Huh. So it's just a pathetic usurper. Now that we know what we're dealing with, we just have to launch an EW attack to wrestle the control back from her. And Bob's your uncle. It's not really that simple. This AI has already merged with Mechty's and Vector's neuroclouds to a certain extent by seizing their neural data. Even if we manage to wrestle the control back from her, remnants of the AI's data will still stick around in their neuroclouds. If we don't do a thorough job of getting rid of the AI, they'll basically be walking time bombs. Is there really no other way? Dyer ponders in silence for a long while on the screen. There is a way, but... oh boy, that's incredibly risky. I can't make the decision alone. The door slides open with a whoosh, followed by a set of angry footsteps. I follow in behind Klukite into the room, eyeing the floorboards that she just happened to stomp over with concern. Klukai, Commander? What are you... We were gone for just a few hours, and you've already created a gigantic mess for us to come back to. Her eyes sweep fiercely over everyone present before finally settling on Dyer on the screen. Solution. Stop wasting time. Alright. Here's the solution. Meanwhile, on level 2. If I respawn at this save point... She checks her inventory and sighs at all the empty slots and her pitiful amount of ammo. I'll just get swarmed the moment I step outside. I won't be able to even save myself, let alone Mechty. On my own, I really am utterly useless. Intense gunfire interrupts Vector's moping. She watches as the invaders outside are shot in the head one by one. The area around the phone booth is cleared in no time. Vivi, are you alright? Sorry it took us so long to get here. A girl with corkscrew tintails throws herself at the door of the phone booth, scaring Vector by squishing her face right up against the glass. You... We arrived right on time. Good thing you haven't lost the ability to make sound judgment. I'm glad you didn't just rush out and take on these invaders and let them give you a thorough beatdown. It's safe. Come on out now. You... With a frown, Vector opens the door and exits the phone booth. She dodges Ruchet's flying tackle and makes her way over to Harpsy. Harpsy wrings her hands nervously. Vector? Are you okay? You seem to be the real Harpsy. How did you even get in here? Vivi. Huh. Ignoring me, are you? Looks like our almighty team leader has lost her memory of more than just one teammate. You're right. I can't bring up any data regarding the two of you in my neural cloud. Evie, you don't remember Wellrod either? Never mind. We're here precisely to resolve this problem. Wellrod looks at Harpsy, who's standing next to Vector. With a nod, Harpsy tells Vector everything in a soft murmur. So, Deer's recommendation to defeat the AI, take what she drops and recover the data I've lost. At the same time, I must clear the game and put an end to this endless cycle of dying and respawning, correct? That's it. Dyer has already obtained certain permissions that will help us by using cheat codes. The limit on the stamina bar has also been removed. This is way too risky. It wouldn't be such a big deal if it was just me and Mekti, but now you're also putting yourselves in danger too. Evie, how could you say that? What do you mean? It wouldn't be such a big deal if it was just you and Mekti? You're a very important companion to... and the leader of us, Team B. That's right, us. Without you, it wouldn't be us anymore. You... Vector looks at Riche and finds herself speechless. I really don't have any memory of what you're saying. That's okay. I'll help you recover it. I can't recall anything at the moment, but I do have this feeling that you must be someone I know very well. Riche freezes for a moment, but then she beams. Yep. Alright, enough catching up. And don't be so pessimistic. Now that the high and mighty team leader is here, we may actually stand a chance. High and mighty team leader? You don't mean... Elsewhere, Mekti, who has been frantically avoiding Koshmar's pursuit, is cowering inside a concrete drainage pipe. You can't find me, 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 you can't find me. All of a sudden, a shadowy figure leans into the pipe. Mekti is so terrified of her neural cloud is on the verge of shutting down, but once she makes out who it is, she lets out a sigh of relief. It's just you, fake Klukai. This fake Klukai is looking at her with wide, pitiful eyes. Unimpressed, Mekti shrinks back and waves her hand at the other, as if she were shooing away a puppy. Go away, you out of character weirdo. You're gonna make me get caught by the Frankenstein. If only the tyrant Klukai were here, she would have killed the Frankenstein easy peasy. Hey, why are you pulling me out? I'm not getting out of there. Follow me. I know a safer place. Huh? The monstrously strong hands grab Mekti and pulls her out of the pipe. Mekti is getting a bit disoriented. Am I still in a cutscene? Maybe Cosmar is just a boss and the embassy is now taking me to some safe house so I can regenerate or something? It's much safer here. Before she can react, her view is suddenly turned upside down, and she feels herself being thrown headfirst into a cramped space. Ow, that hurts. What? What do you think? You don't feel right at home inside this trash can. Fake Klukai lifts her chin. The face that looked so pitiful just a second ago is just now full of disdain. Hold on. That tone. Since the out of character NPC is now also getting out of character, she actually resembles the original character more? This is starting to get a bit confusing. Mekti! It's the real deal! Lukai. Stay away from me. You're filthy. With a look of disgust, Klukai shoves a hand into Mekti's face to stop her from her incoming embrace. Level 2 is all simulated anyway. Filth isn't even real. You're sullying my visual module. Such familiar and comforting mockery. Fine, whatever you say. Now that I think about it, why are you here? What about the commission, though? The client canceled the mission on short notice, so I came back. What else was I supposed to do? Visit the Yellow Zone with the commander and enjoy the collapse storm that was going on? I just didn't expect to receive such a high surprise while on my way back. Lukai sneers coldly. Mekti gulps despite having no saliva. Um, let me explain. I just wanted to explore a new way of training. I will give you plenty of time to explain, but not now. Her tone implies that this is far from over. Right now, we need to take care of that distasteful Frankenstein first. I won't let that chimera of an AI make your already dumb neural cloud even more dumber and give you an excuse for your future dumb shenanigans. So the plan is they all take it on together? Interesting. Interesting, very interesting. Good heavens. 2 more nodes, and then we are done with Escape from Cyborg. They are certainly escaping from a cyborg of sorts. But just for a moment, BRB time. I need to go grab some water so my throat doesn't explode or something. Even though I'm using kind of lighter tones, water's still nice to have. So I will return in a second. I love it when the transition screen works. God, I love it when technology works. Just to make sure. It's trying at least. It sure is trying. Alright, well, back to the story. Is this communicator secure? Dyer said he's set up an encrypted comms channel that the AI won't be able to tap into, so it should be secure. Oh, it's connected. Mekti, can you... If you had called any later, I would have counted you out. I'll see you at the save point. Put someone with a fully functional language module on the line, please. Harpsy promptly shoves the communicator into Vector's hand. Klukai, it's me, Vector. Let's cut to the chase. Have they briefed you on the situation? Yes, I'm all caught up. Eliminate the AI, recover our neural data, clear the game, and end the cycle. It's crucial that you follow the exact order. If you clear the game first, you won't be getting back any of the stolen data. I suggest you obtain the purification solution first so that you can clear the game right after killing the AI, thus minimizing the time between those two steps and reducing the risk of having the plan derailed. Understood. Bang! Before she can finish, the sound of a building exploding and collapsing can be heard from the other end of the line. Klukai! Comstar is coming! Why are you screaming your head off? Is your gun a prop or something? Koshmar? That Frankenstein gave itself a name. That means nightmare. What a joke. I'm going to turn into her nightmare. Fierce gunfire erupts from the communicator, interwoven with piercing, anguish screams. The voice sounds somewhat familiar. Ah! Don't just stand there. Run! How are things on your end? The Frankenstein keeps coming after us. Need us to come back you up? Did you not hear what I just said? Vector, take your Team B and get your hands on the purification solution. Mekti and I can keep Koshmar busy. Yeah, Klukai, invaders ahead! Shut up and shoot! Vector? Understood. I'll be sure to complete the mission. Klukai is mad. She's mad. A three-dimensional image of the Research Institute building is displayed on the screen of Vector's watch. According to the topographical map and the intelligence provided by Dyer, the Institute's security protocol has been fully activated, but more than 75% of the building is damaged. So, there are plenty of poorly defended openings. The west garage, where we are right now, is one of them. Have you gotten an entry route? I've planned out 3 routes based on the distance, time, and the number of enemies we will encounter. I personally recommend Route C, which is to go along the outer edge of the west corridor to the exterior of Zone Z, where there is a gap where the wall is blasted open. After entering Zone Z from the gap, we turn right and travel for 200 meters, at which point we will come across an air raid passage that will go all the way down. We will follow the air raid passage down to level LG10, crawl along the ventilation duct from there to the 5th window, and we will arrive right above the laboratory where the solution is stored. And what exactly is your reason for choosing the route? It's relatively safe. It's a little convoluted, but the defenses along this route are the weakest. We may run into security droids on patrol near the gap, leading to Zone Z, but that's about it. As for the patrols within the lab, the enemies are in the open while we have the advantage of the surprise, so they pose no real threat at all. Welrod plants her hand on her hip, looking like the very picture of confidence. Welrod, yes? You don't have to keep reiterating the loss of your neural data. No, I just think that you're capable of making detailed plans and having a commanding presence. You're really more of a team leader than me. Huh? Please don't say that. You're great too, Vivi. There's no need to spare my feelings. I'm merely stating the facts. However, you haven't considered a potential problem. Go on then. Vector points at herself. You! Welrod can't help but show a hint of surprise. Since I lack sufficient information of both you and Rocher, it's impossible for me to assign roles and coordinate effectively based on your strengths and weaknesses. So I would like to hand over command of this operation to you. You mean I'm to be the team leader? You are the most suitable candidate under these circumstances. Despite the data loss, Vector appears to be much more certain than usual. Is there a problem? Surely this shouldn't be a challenge for you, no? Challenge or not, I will fulfill my responsibility. Following the entry route planned by Welrod, Team B successfully reaches the ventilation duct just above the lab. They peer into the lab through the cracks of the vent. The room is unoccupied. Only a handful of equipment is still running and making some rickety noise. No enemy units in sight. No sign of the target item either. Once we're in there, Harpsy and Rocher will search for the solution. Make sure your respective search areas don't overlap. Vector and I will keep moving on and be on the lookout. Roger that. The four dolls enter the laboratory through the vent. As Vector gets a better look at the layout of the lab, a certain fragmented scene flashes by quickly in her neural cloud. Vivi? What's wrong? Rocher asks, sensing her hesitation. This feels oddly familiar. Like I've been here before. Familiar? Oh! You mean the simulation training we did this morning? It does look a bit similar, but there's no hostages to rescue this time. Simulation training? Have you also lost that part of your memory too? It got into a big fight with Railrod because she didn't stick to the operation plan. You could leave out that superfluous information. Welrod, who was standing guard nearby, suddenly coughs loudly. Have you found the solution? Guys, I think I've got it. Harpsy calls out from the end of the laboratory. Next to her is an opened electronics cabinet with glass jars filled with green liquid neatly stacked inside. Wow, that's great! Just then, the alarms start blaring. The door's blown right off its hinges and a large number of security drones surge in. Emergency target spotted. They've spotted us. Find cover. The group manages to take cover behind a large piece of equipment as bullets rain down on like a torrential storm, slamming into the machine with deafening roars. Seizing the brief moment when the enemies are reloading, Laura peeks about from behind cover with her riot shield. However, after only a few shots, she is forced back under another hail of bullets. Damn it! The enemy in the game can actually share information with each other. The approaching enemies give her no time to finish her sentence. Other than Harpsy, who's protecting the solution, the other 3 dolls are desperately fight to keep the enemies contained within the barricade. There's no end to these droids. Ugh. What if I draw their fire and you guys make a run for it through the vent? No, that would be certain death for you, and quite frankly, you alone would not be able to stall them long enough for all of us to make it through safely the vent. Then we'll think of another way. We can't do this all day, you know. Our only other choice is a clear path with grenades and charge through the main entrance. The weight in Relrod's hand is suddenly gone. When she looks up, Vector has already grabbed her riot shield and charged out of cover. What are you doing, Vector? Make for the vent! Rocher, Harpsy, get the solution safely out of here. If you don't see us after for more than 10 minutes, go to the air. If you don't see us after more than 10 minutes, get to the airbase on your own. Volrod grabs a discarded metal plate from the ground and holds that up in front of her. But what about you? It's just a game. Dying once is no big deal. Then she sprints towards Vector without a second thought. Why don't you act? Why did you act without permission? I'm the team leader here. Boom. A thunderous explosion drowns out all other sounds. Several culture tanks in the laboratory shatter on impact, sending torrents of incubation fluid surging out, knocking over every security droid. Welrod loses her footing and nearly falls. But Vector, who has anticipated this, catches her firmly. Go! From the corner of her eye, Welrod spots Rocher and Harpsy already crawling into the ventilation duct. Without hesitation, Vector grabs Welrod's hand and pulls her towards the exit of the lab. So you actually did have a plan. Sorry. I know it's risky, but it was an opportunity I had to seize. No, I should be the one to apologize. Huh? You'll understand what I meant when I have your neural data back. More sporadic gunshots can be heard from behind them. Looks like your culture fluid cannons didn't get rid of all of the vermin. So it's not time to kill, kill, and kill. Whoop, almost dropped something. Whoopsies. Winner! And on to the last node. The last stage. Quick sip of water. Having successfully acquired the purification solution and withdrawn from the Research Institute, Team B is now moving towards the northeastern corner of Runa Crystallis under the cover of night as quickly as they can. Harpsy, can you contact Mekti and Klukai? The comms channel is still online, but nobody's really answering. Keep the line open. Oh, okay. Harpsy sends another comms request. Unlike before, when her requests were met with nothing but a long, tedious dial tone, the call is answered almost instantly. This is Harpsy. We've secured the purification solution and are heading towards Runa Crystallis Airbase. Purification solution? The signal is unstable, but the speaker's face isn't shown on screen. But her voice belongs neither to Klukai or Mekti. I see. I see. Huh? Wait for me. I'll be right there. Beep. 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 The call is terminated. Harpsy looks over at Vector in alarm. That was neither Klukai or Mekti. It could only be Koshmar. And Mekti and Klukai must be in really big trouble. It's pretty obvious from the calls that Koshmar is on her way to do with us. Even Klukai couldn't beat her. The chances, what chances do we? Calm down. Worst case, she's defeated Klukai and Mekti. But as long as we haven't cleared the game, the respawn cycle won't end. Once they respawn, they'll come back to us. They'll come back us up. So don't worry too much about them. There were just 2 of them, so they couldn't even utilize basic team formation. Their defeat was hardly unexpected. Now that we're all here, as long as we stay on our toes, defeating Koshmar isn't entirely impossible. That's right. Besides, that's just the worst case scenario. What if things went down better than we're assuming? Huh. Has the amnesia actually cured your paranoia? Say, maybe you should just stay like this. Vector shakes her head. Well, that does me any good or not. I still need to recover all my memories of you. I don't want to misplace any of it. I was just joking. Don't take it too seriously. Why is there such an inviolable sense of rapport between the 2 of you now? What happened between you 2? Nothing. Just put a lid on your pointless curiosity already. Look, Vivi! Is that the helicopter G-28 mentioned? A battered military helicopter sits on the small tarmac, a rectangular device hanging from its tail. That should be it. Inspect the engine first. Make sure it's fit to fly. Alright! Brochet climbs into the cockpit to inspect it. After a quick check, she hops back down. The engine is in good condition and there's plenty of fuel. The helicopter even has an autopilot function. Bang, 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 bang. Though the 2 managed to dodge the attack, the helicopter is now riddled with bullet holes in an instant. Oh my, did I miss? The girl hovering midair lowers the gun in her hands, but the 7 guns floating around her remain trained on Vector and Rocher. How can she control so many guns at once? Hang on, is she wielding my PP-90? Next time, I'll take better aim, okay? Give me all of your data, please. That way I can be complete. Her voice is undoubtedly that of a young girl, yet it is light and airy, with an upward little lilt tingled with mockery. Vector stares at her for a while, then she lets out a chuckle. Why are you laughing? No wonder Klukai called you Frankenstein. Frankenstein? Your appearance, weapons, everything about you stems from Mekti's and my neurocloud data in the 8 of us. Victor shows no fear of her weapons. She paces before Koshmar with deliberate ease. Still hovering midair, Koshmar follows Vector's movements and turns her body slowly. Even if you could read all her data and seize her frames, you will never really be perceived as a complete doll or a new Koshmar. You are just an amalgamation of patchwork parts. You don't even actually exist, let alone have the ability to be complete, you know. I don't exist. I will never be complete. That's right. You don't exist. Well, Rod! All of a sudden, Vector ducks down and a sharp crack of gunfire erupts from behind Koshmar. Bullets tear through her limbs and abdomen. Caught off guard, Koshmar immediately flies up to dodge the attack from behind. When she turns and spots Wellrod and Harpsy, when she turns and spots, I can word, I promise. When she turns and spots Wellrod and Harpsy firing at her from behind the helicopter, her face immediately contorts into fury. You ambushed me! Just reciprocating the courtesy you showed our friends. I want to have my own frame. Like the rest of you, I want to experience the outside world. I can have my own data. All this data. It's all me. Koshmar lets out an anguished shriek. Spread out! Now! Amidst the chaos, a stray bullet strikes the purification solution that had been strapped to Harpsy's arm, sending the glass container tumbling. The fluorescent green liquid instantly catches Koshmar's attention. Purification solution! She halts her reckless barrage and aims her gun at the container. Oh no! Vector lunges to shield the container, but Koshmar has already pulled the trigger, and the bullet shoots straight towards Vector's head. Phoebe, look out! Bang! The loud noise is followed by dreadful silence. The glass container in her arms is intact, and she isn't met with the dreaded "you died" text. Then that gunshot. Holy shit. What kind of a ultimate kill stealer are you? You even managed to hit an airborne bullet. Starting from tomorrow, you're adding 200 shots to your dynamic practice. I was complimenting you. Ow! Hearing the familiar voices coming from behind, Vector turns and sees Klukai landing gracefully after vaulting over the railing, alongside a stumbling Mekti. Baby, are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Vector grips the container tightly, her fingers still trembling. If you're okay, then get up right now. The fight isn't over yet. Time to kill. Kill, kill, kill. So yeah, the amalgamation of every single 404 member. Klukai, I missed. Klukai, Belka, Boucher, Mekti, Harpsy, Relrod, Andorus, and Vector. Amalgamation of people, friends, allies. It's a shame she's going to explode. Koshmar do be kind of babyface, though. Unfortunately, she's going to be inflicted with the disease. Ow, 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 ow. Ah, I can only shoot her once. Ouch! And she's dead. And there they all go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye! Whoa. Is that true? Best viewers on some unknown site? I must be dreaming. I don't care. Lukai steps forward, firing a couple of rounds into her body just to be sure. After confirming no further movement, she signals for the others, one by one, they emerge from cover. Is it over? But the helicopter got shot into Swiss cheese, so what do we do now? Well, Rod, Rocher, go check the status of the helicopter. If it's not useful, check the other aircraft. No way this helicopter is the only functional aircraft on the entire airbase. There's actually a distinct possibility. Ow! Why did you bonk me on the head? Shut up already. Go with Vector and recover your neural data. Koshmar will be back after she responds. Haven't we destroyed all the nearby save points while we were on the way here? She won't get here that soon. If you think you can escape your punishment in reality, you're being delusional. Any more procrastination will only double the punishment. Mekti pouts and shuffles closer to Koshmar. Strange. Why can't I recover? What? Koshmar, who was lying motionless on the ground, suddenly lifts her head. Mekti yelps and jumps back in fright. But Koshmar ignores Mekti entirely. Instead, she turns and bolts towards Vector, who is holding the purification solution. Her movement swift and her intent crystal clear. Riche and Rollrod, who have been inspecting the helicopter nearby, are drawn to the commotion by Mekti's startled cry. Lukai and Vector are the first to react. Without hesitation, they draw their guns and open fire on Koshmar. A fresh burst of bullets completely severs Koshmar's already dangling left arm, but she doesn't even flinch. With her still functional right hand, she brushes against a shadowy decorative mark on the side of her right thigh. Electronic currents crackle around her. Then with a flash of white light that illuminates the darkness, the shadow solidifies into a drawn blade. Without slowing, she lunges at Vector with the weapon. Not fair. Not fair. It's not fair! If I'm stuck here, you're not leaving either! Crap. There's no time to dodge. The raised blade gleams coldly under the moonlight. Bang! A small figure suddenly barrels into Koshmar from the side, knocking her away from Vector. Vector immediately ceases firing, but not before a stray bullet strikes the body of Koshmar's assailant. You! Koshmar instinctively clamps down on the doll who crashed into her, and in the struggle, her blade veers slightly before plunging downward with full force. Mekti! Damn it. This was supposed to be a game. So I just hurt like a bitch. Mekti collapses like a marionette with its strings cut, her form dissolving into scattered fragments of light. Gosh darn it. Their safe place so far away. Guess I'm not coming back. I'll be waiting for you in the future. The light completely fades away. Don't just stand there! Attack! Shoot her to bits! At Klukai's sharp command, another hail of bullets rain down on Koshmar. Bullets tear through and riddle her body. As Klukai gives the final order, Koshmar's body gradually breaks apart into smaller and smaller fragments. Koshmar's anguished screams fade, and at the same time, the fragments of her body begin to glow. Stop! Dolls cease their attack. The broken pieces dissolve, unraveling into delicate threads of light that peel away from Koshmar's remains. The strands unravel faster and faster, until wisps of soft, luminescent blue surge into the air, forming a vast ocean of light above the base. Part of the glowing tides drifts into the distance, while the rest rushes straight towards Vector, flowing through her body. That's... The waves of light flood Vector's mind. She can't help but bend forward, sinking to her knees. Hold on, I want to get a screen cap of this. This is good. Good content. In front of her, 4 hands overlap. Following the arms upward, she sees familiar features begin to take shape on the 2 once blank faces. The fragments have returned to the rightful place. My neural data. Vector looks up towards the sky. There is no more trace of Koshmar. The members of Team B rush up to her. Vivi, how do you feel? Did that work? Have you regained your memory? It's okay. We still have the neural backups back at the base. Vector breathes in deeply and takes Rushi's and Welrod's hands. I got everything back. I'm just a bit disoriented. That's all. Thank goodness. Rocher embraces Vector tightly. Welrod and Harpsy also look visibly relieved. Does anyone remember there's a second phase in our operation? If you want to fight Frankenstein again, by all means, keep the group bonding session going. Oh, right. We have more important things to do. Rocher hastily lets go of Vector. Vivi, I just checked with Welrod. Even though the helicopter got shot full of holes, it's still pretty functional. Even the autopilot still works. The world of video games sure is miraculous. However miraculous it is, I've had enough of it. Vector holds out the glass container that she's been protecting in her arms. In that case, I'll see you in a bit. No residual anomalous data in the neural module. No data conflicts with our losses detected. All modules are operating pretty normally. Right. Okay, Harpsy, you can go ahead and destroy that plugin. Make sure you leave no backup, alright? Right. Now that the crisis has been averted, can I log off? I've got other stuff I need to attend to. Fine. Go then. Dyer's image disappears from the terminal screen. I glance at Mekti and Vector, who have just climbed out of their repair pods. Then I pat Kluka on the shoulder. Don't get too worked up. Just take it easy, yeah? I will keep it under control. Klukai clears her throat and fixes her gaze firmly on the 2 dolls. You may now explain yourselves. I'm listening. Well, it's as you saw. And what exactly did I see? Don't be nervous. Talk me through slowly. You have all the time in the world. Or should I or would you like a drink to soothe your vocal module? Should I also fetch Andrus? Don't be like that. You want to snap and shout at me, just do it. Otherwise I'd feel like I was still in the virtual world. Besides, I can't drink coffee. Are you telling me what to do? No, not at all. I wouldn't dare. I just think I just prefer the OG version of Klukai. If memory serves, that would be the one you called Tyrant Klukai. Am I correct? The chuckle slips out, earning me a mildly disapproving glare from Klukai. I was wrong, Klukai. I shouldn't have asked Harpsy to create that plugin without permission. What else? And I shouldn't mix training and games. Okay? Please don't be like this. Kukai tilts her chin up and shoots Smekti one more sharp, murderous glare before turning to the trembling Harpsy. Just as she's about to speak, Vector interrupts her. If I had run a tighter ship, this wouldn't have happened. As leader of Team B, I bear full responsibility for this incident. I will submit a complete review and self-reflection before dawn. Are you also planning to take the blame for Harpsy? No. But at the end of the day, all this happened because I failed to